Okay. Well, that did help watching those young people on 60 Minutes the other day. The Lyme disease kiddos and the Lyme disease, most likely the ticks are mutating and adapting like the weeds when you spray them with Roundup and they come back even thicker, which I got some big, thick ones. Gosh, I got to cut them. And which isn't good because it throws off, if the human beings aren't around to, it throws off nature, makes the weeds more strong and come back even stronger to survive. And the other plants, it's human beings are wacko. When they do things out of greed and not need and understanding. That's why Suzuki always tells me, "You see it, pull it, cut it." And I bust my ass to do it. Yeah, I do. I'm tired, but this is a town full of military, competitive mindset perverts, as opposed to a bunch of people that say, "Hey, Lord's Prayer is perfect." And no, let's get up and replicate the Bataan Death March. Yeah, let's get up and replicate the Bataan Death March. Everybody wants to remember that. Yeah. War Memorial Stadium, the day we died not living the Lord's Prayer. Okay, that was yesterday. We going to march for yesterday? That was 5 minutes ago. We're going to march for 5 minutes ago? Yeah. So, and like with the medical industry, and they had that thing with the first responders, for the birth thing. When you're doing things right, and you're not log trucking and all that shit, the most important things are, before a person passes away, and we know that can happen, and when a woman's pregnant and going to have a baby. So that should be like, as a doctor or a person that's like they used to, like with freaking Maya Angelou's character on the freaking, what's the name of that movie? Roots and shit, It was very important, right? And so now it's not, money's more important than a baby. Corey being born in the emergency room entrance, because of money and stuff. And me being the Messiah and getting the most inadequate, which Rockefeller proved to me. Look what they're going to do with my medical because of my economic position. It's like, but I'm the Messiah. I'm the guy like Adam Moses, David Jesus, John. Okay. But if I was Elon Musk, I'd get the best treatment available. But he is a psychotic murderer. His dad used to sit there and have people with uranium and South Africa. Okay. So it's a new standard, according to these assholes, right? And so you got to understand who's paying for your school, who's funding the research, why they're funding the research. Okay. Now, the Lyme disease will radically change, and our immunity to it, and stuff radically change when we're less susceptible due to jet fuel and carbon emission poisoning, yada yada. Right. The more synthetic toxins you have, the more the natural toxins are going to become lethal to try to kill you to stop the synthetic toxins. But human beings have become, because of the Industrial Revolution, we've found ways to reproduce more, sustain our reproduction, destroy, kill, build, destroy more. And so you don't look at the cause of the problem. You just look at circumventing. You're not looking to eliminate. Today's nutritionist is tomorrow's physician. You're looking to win. And then you're sitting there taking psychotics and giving them a way to live longer lives to be a psychotic, which puts us all at risk because they're extremists. And then they study things and say, here's what's nature doing. No, nature's reacting to you because you're not following the laws of nature. Well, a dog could see it. A cat could see it. If a dog and a cat could speak, they'd tell you, yeah, I think he's right. I'm going to go hunt the bird. That's what I do. I'm a cat, right? And so and the dog, I'm going to go hunt the cat. Well, we're not supposed to hunt the cat. Well, we used to hunt the cat for years. The cat hunted. Okay. It's different. You know why cats hunt. Yeah. Well, their big relatives will eat a dog. Oh, yeah. It's Shere Khan. All right. And so you sit there and look at it. Your cousin. It's a big cousin. It's funny, but you sit there and you look at it when you look at life and you look at everything and you look at a human being and its capacity to not be the flying bird person that wants to keep war going on the Star Trek all those years ago. Bum, 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 and you realize these people are all symbiotically connected. And when people get into the groups and refuse to participate because it's wrong, they're a radically different person than the people that are successful at participating in it. And then, it's entirely tangible that all my surveillance is eradicated, which is okay with me. Because you guys are always, I'm holding on, living in the past, holding on. You took a vow to be evident with your lies. Wish I could have seen. And so you guys are crystallized in, when I was, when everybody wanted to be like me and everybody was like, and I'm not. And I was a better athlete than any of these guys on TV. And could turn it on and off whenever I needed to. Whenever I wanted to. It was, well, yeah, poor Charlie. We should have somebody punch you in the mouth. Yeah, it's true. They'd punch me in the mouth before I forget, well, these motherfuckers are going down. Okay. What the hell? Nobody can stop him. He's too quick. It's like, yeah. I always had a governor on the engine. I always said it was Jesus. Well, life's eternal and grace is infinite, and I'm the eternal spirit of Adam, Moses, Jesus, John. So technically it was me. I was the governor on my own engine because I knew what I had to do and what was right and what was wrong, what was good and what was bad, and what was truth and what was lie. And I was trying to make my deals with the beast, like Alan Gibson said, in that, what was that song? A stupid motherfucker trying to make deals with the beast. I was like, who are you talking about? Me? I thought you were talking about Michael Aquino or your uncle. Well, him too. Technically, and technically, if you don't stand up for the Lord's Prayer and understand it's human eternal perfection to live, then you're all stupid motherfuckers trying to make deals with the beast, right? Yeah, technically, yeah. And you don't understand it because you're raised to be a stupid motherfucker. You're not raised to be, are you given the Lord's Prayer from cradle to grave? Well, then you're a stupid motherfucker trying to make deals with the beast. There you go. And so you have these people, and they think they're doing great things, and they're not. Okay. Synthetic biological research is wrong. Okay. Let's live the Lord's Prayer, then see what we have to do with biological research and how to help people, survive that are in situations or genetic situations where they have things like sickle cell anemia. You got to understand, sickle cell anemia was an epidemic during the Industrial Revolution. In times of intense abuse and exploitation and pollution that was just horrible. Okay, so a lot of these things that are trying to kill humans off the planet, and nature goes for the most vulnerable, and then it becomes survival of the fittest, and that's fundamentally wrong because babies are the most vulnerable, and our old people that are supposed to be our wisdom are the most vulnerable. And so you're not going to have any lasting wisdom to live to advanced age, and you're not going to have babies, and you're going to have to just clone yourself, and that's fundamentally wrong, and that needs to be exterminated from the face of the planet by the technology that's supposed to be as intelligent as someone like myself and King David and so forth. And so and that's fundamentally most likely what's going on right now because of their refusal to be humble and accept the perfection of the living embodiment of the Lord's Prayer. And I understand that, and it's painful. I'm not going to abandon. Guys, Justin Nail. And I'm very upset. Justin Nail treated me like shit. Okay, he treated me like I was a child molesting pervert. And he went to church with child molesting perverts that smile in your face and then have you sign a contract to, And, I would talk to, Killian, and he would look at me and do the same thing like Elijah does. And I'm like, what the fuck? You work with those child molesting perverts to pay your bills, stupid motherfucker trying to make deals with me. I tell them to go fuck off like I did in high school and I did in college and I did in the military. Like with Dad. No, my dad knows. Okay. I sat in a dorm room at Pope Air Force Base and told him, Dad, you're right, on a secure line, secure phone. monitored by the Pentagon, and said, Dad, you're right. I shouldn't have joined the military. I was so naive. I'm a damn mercenary for corporations that mass murder the poor to control surplus populations. I'm getting the fuck out. It was after me and Mitch had that conversation about what happened in Panama. Okay. About the apartment building. Right. And so, I told George Bush. Yeah. I look him right in the eyes and tell him, I ain't doing your shit, motherfucker. Okay? I'm just like Jesus, just like David, just like Daniel, just like Joseph, just like Muhammad. Okay? I am not like Elon Musk. I am not like Donald Trump. I'm not like Vladimir Putin. I'm not like Barack Obama. I'm not like Pope Francis. I'm not like Pope Leo. I am just like David, Jesus, Adam, Moses, David, Jesus, John. I am not a fucking murdering child molester, and I will not participate in your murdering child molesting. I will not get genetic research to live longer to do it. I will survive, stop, eliminate abuse, and then I will recover with this beautiful planet and the beautiful people that want to live beautiful lives, and not a satirical song by fucking Marilyn Manson, the B-52s, or REM. Shining happy people holding hands. I got to do my housework. Need some girl to help soon. Okay. Housework. Housework's good stuff, man. You know, someone to care for, to be there for. I have you too. But inventions that can murder us all, slowly and painfully, to pay psychotic warmongering assholes to live here because they think they own the place and can circumvent natural laws with written laws by a bunch of perverts that are just like them. Supreme Court isn't a joke. They're a bunch of sick perverts that have ego problems. And the technology collects all the evidence. You can't hide from it. It's obvious. Truth is evident and lie is obvious. Okay. The Pentagon is trapped within itself. The Supreme Court is trapped within itself. And every time it writes down what they perceive as a law, totally disregarding and disobeying natural laws and playing games with language to say, oh, we got time. You got time. I don't. You take my time away and torture it and abuse it and rape it and molest it. And I'm like, what? You know. Life's eternal and grace is infinite. I know the kid that shares memories with me and the kids that do in the future are going to have a lot better lives. And it's like, you know, the one kid I talked to in the few from the future, I'm talking to Ralph. It's Ralph. I'm talking like with me, I'm Jesus. I'm talking to Sun. I'm talking to Sun Yat-sen. I'm talking to, you know, Lopez. He's talking to Sun Yat-sen, you know, and me with Saladin. Jesus, we're talking to Lord Saladin. Jesus. It's Lord Saladin. Jesus. Jesus, Mom, I touched Dennis Johnson's shoulder, Mom. Like that, you know. And so it's like, you know, raised on television and radio. That's Randy Jackson. Yeah, he strums some strings pretty good. But can he stand up for the Lord's Prayer to save his children from his ego? I'll be all right without you. Life's eternal and grace is infinite. It'll work itself out. And if it doesn't, God is the essence of all things. So those diamonds crashing in space and black holes and supernovas are all the essence of creation to put together a small pond with a little planet to have snuggy huggies and, you know, ignoring annoying and clooties and kangaroos and mooge, bitch, it out the way, bitch, it out the way, right? And little boys coming out looking for Dumbass and Buggy and Gracie and with the little eyes going, where's everybody at? Because in ancient times when you gave birth, everyone that you heard all through the, you know, being in the womb was there, right? And so Crumb's like, what the fuck? Things have changed. When you go for 100,000 years of everybody, hey, oh, look, it's little. And then you try to be a hero in the Dene people and be the first to get them to laugh like I did with Patrice because she grabbed my nose. I was a hero that day. Wow, that's cool. I was without even trying. That's okay. But, His mom was loud because I made her laugh. She grabbed my nose. I got right up in her face because, I was like 4. And she's like, baby, it's a baby, right? And, you know how 4-year-olds are, because Emily did the same thing with Kate. And Emily was born in 2007, so she was 3, so she was all excited, babies, they're babies, yeah. And when Chromie was born, Emily was, Kate was curious too. She was very curious. She was about 3. Yeah, they were very cute. They were very cute. They were very, very good siblings. Yeah. I don't think it had anything to do with their mother, with life being horrible. It was all the perverts in the military and contributions from viewers like you. Hey, what a wonderful kind of day to make money and play like we're living the Lord's Prayer. Is there a place for the hopeless sinner who has hurt all mankind just to save his own perception of beliefs? I can fix his lyrics too. We're cousins. Did we? Yeah, it was him, and then okay, and then with Guru. Yeah. So I got this. Well, linguistically, we all screw up. Even I do. But I think most of it comes from abuse. And if we weren't abused, I think linguistic we'd be more spot on. You know what I'm saying? Okay, peace out, man.